Well, guys, welcome once more to the class, right? Well, today we are in the intermediate one, week 8.1. So, guys, in this session, what are we going to do? Well, guys, we're going to discuss the challenges, frustrations, rewards in a life throughout life experiences. And also, guys, we're going to give essential information about people and extra information about jobs, okay? So, look at this. The warm-up is actually something pretty simple. We're going to watch a video, but I want you to pay attention to this. Please keep in mind these questions, take a screenshot, take a picture with your smartphone, and take notes, okay? Which are the questions? The questions actually are pretty simple. Jobs and occupations vocabulary rates. What jobs or occupations do you remember? What do you think of being an actor? Is it easy or difficult? What thing has Leo done for something of his characters? And tell us some things you understood from the interview. Okay? So, pay attention to the video.
I just wanted to talk about
and take notes. Here we go.
Something. And how long did it take you to grow it, first of all?
It was 6 months, and then I think I had it for an additional year after that.
Mm-hmm. And how did people treat you? No, that's not what it was during the movie, right? That's cleaned
up.
No,
that was it.
Oh, really? Well, then
yeah.
it didn't look like that in the movie. It maybe it's because there was so much ice on it too, because it was always frozen.
That was actually wax. I had a fantastic makeup artist in this movie who did all the stuff from the bear mauling, and there was wax that she dribbled all over my face every day. It was about a 4 to 5 hour makeup job every day with all the scars and. So again, it was just a joy.
Yeah.
The whole experience.
But now, see, you're growing it back again, or something. Or you're just going to keep it at that level.
A light stubble.
A light stubble.
Yeah.
Do you like wearing?
I don't think I'll ever have a beard like that ever again, unless it's for a role. But yeah, it's hard to maintain. It's just stuff gets in there. You know, you're eating, and then food falls in.
Right. And you have to shampoo it, right?
You have to shampoo it, yeah.
And do you put conditioner in it?
I did.
Because you want it to be soft.
You do want it to be soft, otherwise it gets like a Brillo pad.
And can you? Yes. And who wants to feel that? And so when you have food in it, can you tell?
Oh, it's very visible, yeah.
I mean, no,
visible.
but if you don't have a mirror, sometimes do you feel like you've walked around and there's been food in your beard?
Well, if you have good enough friends, they notify you if you have mustard on your beard or something like that. They let you know.
All right, just checking. So you've always been like a daredevil, but you've done, I think I've talked to you about, you swim with sharks, or you have.
Yeah.
And you jump out of an airplane.
Yeah.
On a regular basis, or will you?
I only did that once.
Will you do it again?
When both parachutes don't open, you tend to not go repeat something like that. Yeah.
What are you talking about? Well, then how'd you get down?
I jumped out of the airplane, and then my first chute didn't open. It's tandem, so somebody's on your back. They cut that line. We started free falling towards Earth, and that's when you get the 8x10 glossies of your whole life flashing before your eyes. And then the second one was tangled as well, and I saw my friends sort of popping off with their parachutes, and I'm still plummeting towards planet Earth. And then that was tangled for about a good, 20, 30 seconds. And then he untangled it. And then he told me, oh, you're probably going to break your legs now because we're going too fast. So it was one of the worst experiences of my life, and I'll never do it again.
And did you break your legs?
I did not break my legs.
Wow, so he's whispering in your ear, or yelling in your ear.
Screaming.
Screaming in your ear. You're going to break your legs.
You're going to break your legs.
What?
Okay. That's great. Well, guys, so please continue watching the video at home. That I will always provide the presentations to you. But let's go back to the questions, right? Well, so in the comments box, you are going to write your answers, okay? So, jobs and occupations, vocabulary race. What jobs or occupations do you remember? What do you think of being an actor? Is it easy or difficult? What things has Leo done for his career of characters? and tell us something you understood from the interview. All right? Try to do it just watching once the video. All right? Well, look at this. So today we are going to talk about accomplishment. So basically things when we or our aims that we have already achieved. Okay? And in order to do it, we are going to use the past simple and the present perfect with some expressions. The expressions that we have here today are the following ones. I managed, I didn't manage, I was able, I wasn't able, and in present perfect, basically the same expressions. I've managed, I haven't managed, I've been able, and I haven't been able to, right? Okay, I'm going to give you some examples apart from the examples that you can see in the screen. Well, for example, personal attacking. I've managed to finish my magister degree in external university, for example, right? For instance, I didn't manage to get the C2 level or C1 level in French. I couldn't. It's so hard to me. But I was able to get the V2 level, right? Well, I wasn't able to travel to France in a moment that I could. I couldn't do it because, well, some lack of money is true, but also some like professional like targets I wanted to achieve an aim, right? Now, well, I've managed to become, I think, that a better teacher than I was some years before. I haven't managed to study another magister degree or a PhD, but I really would like. I've been able to raise a family, and I haven't been able to get married yet. I want to get married, and maybe I will do it soon, but I haven't been able to do it right now, right? Okay, so try to give me your own answers. Remember, stop the video and try to give your own answers. Okay, so if we're going to talk about accomplishment, remember to use these expressions in the past simple tense and in the present perfect. Okay, well, let's go ahead. For example, here we have some like exercises to practice. Okay, the idea is that you try to do it. Remember, do it at home. Use the comment box to give your answers about this exercise. Okay, for example, I've managed to eat healthy diet, or I wasn't able. These answers are totally personal. I will give you mine, right? For example, I've managed to eat healthy diet lately. I have been able to help others, right? I managed, or I was able to meet the person who's right for me. Okay, this one. Well, I think I have made an important career move. Yes, I was able to get a degree. And yes, I have learned an important life skills like driving, swimming, cooking, which I think is really important for life, right? Okay, so guys, now for the second topic for today, we are going to learn about the relative clauses, okay? So I want, guys, I want your whole attention here, okay? Well, let's go ahead. Educative objects. Well, first of all, you are going to be able to identify different type of relative clauses, the defining and undefined ones, right? And then how to incorporate them into sentences. And finally, how to create complex sentences using the defining and non-defining relative clauses, okay? So, what is a relative clause, guys? A relative clause is a part of a sentence that describes or give more information about a noun. It is connected to the main clause using a relative pronoun such as who, or whom, or whose, or for example, which or that, okay? The relative clause can provide essential information. The defining relative clause, or extra information that is the non-relative clause about the noun they modified. These clauses, guys, help to combine ideas and add detail, making the sentence more informative and interesting. This is really important because if you want to get, for example, higher scores in an international exam, like IELTS, like TOEIC, like TOEFL, etc., 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 and you use the relative clauses, guys, for sure you are gonna get them. Okay. Well, here we have some examples. For example, the woman who lives next door is a doctor. This is a defining relative clause because all the information is essential, right? For example, this one, my car, which I bought last year, has already broken down. Pay attention that we have extra information here, and the extra information, it's closed between commas, right? This is a non-defining relative clause because it has extra information. For instance, the student whose laptop was stolen is very upset, okay? We don't have commas, we don't have extra information, all right? Okay, look at this. So what is a defining relative clause? Well, basically, a defining relative clause gives essential information about the noun they modify. This information is necessary to understand which specific person or thing is being referred to. Without the defining relative clause, the meaning of the sentence would be incomplete or unclear. So we need all the information. For example, here, the book that you lent me was fascinating. What happened if I only read the book? The book, what book, which book? What are we talking about? Oh, you lent me was fascinating. No, we need all the information. We need all the information to understand the sentence. Or we won't be able to understand the real meaning, right? Okay, the explanation. Pay attention. That you lent me, look at this, specifies which book is being referred to, making it essential information. That's what I already told you, right? Okay, now on the other hand, we have the non-defining relative clauses. What is a non-defining relative clause? It's basically a relative that add extra information. So as we said since the beginning, we have extra information here, right? About a noun that is already clear or specific. This information is not necessary to identify the noun, but provides additional details. Non-defining relative clauses are always separated by commas. For example, look at this. My brother, who lives in Peru, is coming to visit. So what is the extra information? Who lives in Peru. And actually, I can read information that is out of the commas to understand the sentence. For example, my brother is coming to visit. You see? So basically, it's not necessary to read the extra information to understand the sentence. But that's why we have always to use the commas to enclose the extra information. Okay? So you have to pay attention to that. Right? Well, now, look at this. Relative pronouns. Well, the relative pronouns are words used to introduce a relative clause. Okay? So, we have the relative clause and the relative pronoun are the words used to introduce the relative clause, right? So, they connect the clause to the noun and it describes and provides more information about that noun. And they are placed at the beginning of a relative clause, okay? So, let's check them. We have these relative pronouns. Who, that we also refers to people. For example, the teacher who inspired me is retiring, right? The usage, we use to give more information about a person. Whom, this one sometimes is kind of confusing. And why? Because it refers to people. And actually it's more formal, often used in written English. So it's basically the same, right? The student whom the teacher praised is very happy. So we use them when the person is the object of the verb in the relative clause, not the subject, the object. Okay? Whose, well, indicates possession. In Spanish, it's like cuyo or cuya. Okay? For example, the writer whose book I read is very talented. El escritor cuyo libro leí es muy talentoso. Okay? You see? So it's basically possession. So we used to show that something belongs to someone. Alright? Now, which, this is a commodity. Alright? Which refers to animal and things. Example, the movie which we watched last night was thrilling. The which is like el cual y por la cual, right? And what's the usage? We use to provide more information about things or animals. Okay, that is basically like a that but more gomelo, right? Although that it's like a bigger commodity because actually when we use that for people too. Okay, well, that can refer to people, animals, and things, okay, and using defining relative clauses, okay, only in defining. I will explain you why. The example, the car that I bought is red, and we use to give essential information about the noun. Okay, pay attention here. Why don't we use that in non-defining relative clauses? Basically because there is a rule in English that explains or tells that we never write comma before and after that, at least that it's a connector, for example, after that comma, right? But never use comma after and before that. That's why we always are going to use it only in defining relative clauses. Okay, so what is the idea, guys? You are going to, from in your houses, you are going to take a picture and a screenshot, and you are going to underline the relative clause in the circle of the relative pronoun, right? Okay, the relative clause and circle the relative pronoun. Okay, so what is the relative clause and what is the relative pronoun? All right. Okay, for example, the car that I bought is new. So circle the pronoun that is that I bought is new is the relative clause. Okay, the same with the other examples. So remember, try please to take a picture, underline, and a screenshot, and you let me the answers in the comment box. Okay, well, we have a second activity. Well, but what? That's why you didn't program the class. But well, in the activity 2, what are we going to do, guys? Basically, we are going to write a short paragraph about your favorite place. You have to use at least 3 relative clauses, and you have to describe the place, the people there, and why you like it. So how are you going to do it? Again, in the comment box. I will check them. Okay. Well, and here we go with the other one. So, in summary, what we have: relative clauses and information about nouns. Remember, the relative clause provide additional details about a noun and helping to make sentence more informative and descriptive. And they help clarify which specific person, thing, or place is being referred to. Or they can add extra non-essential information. Okay? Now, the other one is defining versus non-defining relative clauses. For example, the defining relative clauses provide essential information necessary to identify the noun. They are integral to the meaning of the sentence and not use commas, okay? For example, the student who studies hard will succeed, okay? Then we have the non-defining relative clauses. So in this case, we add extra information, non-essential information about the noun. And they are separated by commas, and the sentence will still make sense without them, okay? All right, guys? Okay? Good. So, for example, my brother who lives in Spain is coming to visit, okay? Remember that we have the extra information, we put them into commas, okay? Always. Okay, guys. I hope if you have any question, let me know, because this is a really long and hard topic to understand sometimes, okay? All right? Well, good job, guys. Well, what is the idea? The idea of this, the other activity that we have here, is that you try to identify here which sentence is defined and which one is non-defined relative clause. So remember, stop the video and give me your answers through the comment box. Okay? And then, well, the idea is to practice with those exercises. Okay? Well, guys, you did a great job. Try to practice talking. For example, talk about the following jobs. Who's an artist? An artist manager is a person who is in charge of looking for better contracts for the singer, for example. Talk about the DJ. No, a DJ is a person who is in charge of playing music in Paris, right? And who's a show host, okay? So do it. Remember, try to do it at home. Okay? Guys, good job. You did a great job. Remember to keep studying. Keep practicing, please, okay? Keep practicing. And hope to see you in class. Program classes, guys. Program classes. Bye.